Oh, drop.
Good start.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Anderson, it's day 5 of the robot project.
Woohoo.
I guess to start with, review with or maybe tell our audience what we did in class today.
We had a busy day. As far as algebra content, we dove a little deeper into complex numbers and talking about what they are, and we're starting to get into actual uses of complex numbers and applying them to electrical circuits, and hopefully that will become very clear for them in the next day or two. As far as physics, we had, tying it in from those circuits and the formulas, Ohm's law, and you rattled off a bunch of stuff that you'll probably talk about here in just a little bit for content. The big highlight of the day was we had someone that we're friends with. His son came in who is an engineer and gave us a talk on not only engineering as a profession, but more specifically blueprints and drawing blueprints and the different cross sections and detail that goes into planning a project.
Mm-hmm. Questions about how you thought it went today. You said it was a busy day. Do you feel like bringing in the guest speaker or the engineer to talk about blueprints was valuable for the kids? Do you think they got anything out of it? And just general class procedure, do you think it went well today?
I think it went well. There were two things for the speaker that I really loved. I loved the work that they were able to see that goes into planning something on paper, the detail that went into it. I think that we could say it until we're blue in the face, but hearing it from someone who lives it every day, someone that they don't see on a normal basis, someone that they take very seriously. He's an engineer and is part of our community here. I think that was priceless.
Yeah.
The second part of that I thought was a great benefit for our students was having him come in and give us all that information about planning something, but also seeing profession, career choice for some of our students. Having him talk a little bit about the work ethic that it takes to go into being someone that's as successful as an engineer and some of the things to focus on for school. He mentioned to our students, go out and job shadow, and that can apply to more than just engineers, but go out in the community and see how much, whether you like the profession, if it interests you. We don't really know what a profession is until you experience it.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with bringing in someone from the outside community into your classroom to talk about what they do, and particularly when it ties so directly into what we're doing with our project. Yeah,
and that's what, going into today, we, what did we give him as far as, he said, what do you want? And we said, well, a basis in blueprints and planning, and, you really can do whatever you want. Sure. And we went in that way, I feel like, at least on my end, because whatever he tells us, it's going to be useful for our students. Whether it was, this is a step-by-step how you plan something on paper, or even if it can be a community connection or some information on a career path for some of our students.
Mm-hmm. What is something that you think we could do better so far on this project? I mean, I've got an idea for what I would say.
Yeah.
So if you want, I could say it now, or I could save it for later. But
go ahead, and I'm going to think.
I feel like that one thing that we could try to find more opportunities for, and I'm sure it will lend itself more as we get deeper into the project, is just more of an opportunity for some student choice, student voice in what we're doing. We talked about this last week, but right now we're just working on such a limited prior knowledge for our students with this project that it's been a lot more facilitator directed than we would normally have for the beginning of a project, and so I think any opportunities that we can find to increase student voice along the way will be desirable.
Yeah. Something I saw, and we were actually looking at the book of supplies that we may want to dream of buying in the future, and I actually thought that today was it would be nice to have some circuits that we could actually build. We don't have that, and it would, you're going through and doing this great discussion on them. It would be so beneficial for the students to be able to take a power source and put a switch in and put all those pieces together in front of them.
Yep.
And go from there. So that would be something that in the future, when we do this again next year, I think we can really build it up by
Yeah.
buying some of those things in advance.
Yeah, for those of us who are listening that don't know what we're doing, this is our first year at Kent Innovation with the Physics Algebra 2 class, physics period. So we don't have a lot of the supplies that you would traditionally see in a physics classroom, for example. So we're still building that stockpile, and that's something that we have not yet attained. But even I talked with a student today about just having a simple breadboard, so you could plug in a resistor to a circuit and see how it works, or an LED or something like that. So we can physically, tangibly manipulate these circuits. Right now we have to be creative by doing our circuit schematics and showing some outstanding YouTube videos. And,
right.
And we can show them.
It's worked well.
And we've got some of the parts, so we can show some of the things we've got, but it's certainly not as ideal as we'd like it in the future.
Right. So that, I mean, as far as change, and we do have some of the parts, and I thought about that today when we were introducing the parts document. And to review that quickly, we gave them a list of things that they have access to or could have access to buy for the robot, and then it was their job to go out and research what their function is. It'd be cool to provide them those parts, and I know we went back and forth on how we were going to introduce that to them, and maybe we can even do that in the next couple of days. Just say, all right, here is a single pole double throw.
Yeah.
Based on your knowledge of what you put on the document, does it perform as you thought it would?
Right.
So that would be something that we could maybe do in the future.
Thoughts for tomorrow?
Well, based on our guest speaker, I think we have a great idea of putting some of his knowledge and expertise to work for our students. I think we're going to pick an object in the classroom and actually make a scale drawing of it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be not only good practice for the detail and the work that goes into a print, but it'll also give them a great idea of how they can use those things that he told us on the drawing of their actual robot before they build. Because before we give them any parts, we've already said that they have to have a beautiful plan.
Right.
Before we'll just turn them loose with hot glue. Because
Or
we
solder.
know what that's going to turn into, a pile of hot glue.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.